But what can I do? Understanding natural environments and the impact we have. I want to start with a little bit of context here. Grovewood Park is a park area that also has a naturally left wild space attached to it. It's right in the middle of our subdivision. It's about a 5-minute walk away from the school, straight shot out the front door. It's got a field, a small natural forest, and a pond, as well as human-made parks, playgrounds, basketball court, that kind of thing. We also have 3 grade 7 classes. 2 of the groups contain students with IEPs, while the last one has our students that have an ELL round. The target audience are our 75 grade 7 students. Within this group, we've got multiple exceptionalities. There is EA support for some of it. We also have heavy ELL needs, and those students that don't fit into these categories, some of them also have safety plans, which within our board means that there are behavioral issues that we need to consider because they could be a danger to themselves or others. The links to the curriculum come right out of the grade 7 Understanding Life Systems unit. I put them in this order because I want to be able to show that they flow from understanding the interactions between biotic and abiotic elements to looking at how those interactions within the environment, and then continuing on to how human activities get in the way or disrupt those interactions. I think it's really important to be able to see this entire flow to really get the point of exactly what happens when humans get involved in a natural environment. So the nature of the activities, they're all going to start with some in-class modeling. We're lucky enough to have a 100-minute science block that takes place once a week. Within that time, we'll be able to do a little bit of in-class work, go to the area, go to Grovewood. We're going to be able to have some experiences that are very intentionally structured, starting with that connection between biotic and abiotic elements and moving on to how the interactions affect the balance of an ecosystem. Some really great games and activities here. We're going to be looking at creating a list of the living and non-living things that are within the environment. We're going to really look at a section of the space. So I've got some webbing. We're going to put out a meter diameter circle, and we're just going to look in that 1 meter. Each of the groups is going to really study that space and what can you find within a circle with 1 meter diameter. We're going to be cataloging things. We're going to be looking at how certain plants balance certain animals, and then we're going to play a game called Oh Deer, which is one of my favorites. It's basically a tag game where we have wolves and deer working together. The wolves try to get the deer. Each wolf has to get 3 deer in order to have survived the round. For every wolf that gets 3 deer, more wolves are born for the next round. Eventually, what the kids find is that there starts to be a natural balance that occurs. As the number of wolf population goes up, it becomes harder and harder for them to catch the required amount of food. We're then going to look at how human activities actually affect those natural spaces. So really understanding how putting in houses and paths disrupt migration patterns. Taking a look at where our litter is and where our garbage cans are. Are people using the park the way it's kind of meant to be used, or how are they trampling through natural spaces? Finally, all the students will have a chance to do some independent journaling activities when they come back to class, either during our next smaller period or that day itself, or even for homework as a blog. Supervision, we're each going to send, each class will send its own teacher. We do have a volunteer. I've got one. LT has had a lot of training with me over a number of years. She's going to the faculty. She also has her NLS, which is important, as you'll see in just a second. We do have an EA that works very well with the whole group as well. Our risk management issues, the students know this spot. They go through it on a daily basis. We do have our school walkie-talkies that work from all areas of the park, so we'll be able to keep in constant contact. Our students are going to wear whistles and will be taught how to use them effectively. Many of the areas are completely risk-free or as close to it as you can get. There's 2 areas of hazard, a pond and a storm sewer entrance. We're going to talk about these ahead of time, make sure the kids know what they can and can't do, and we're also going to back that up with my volunteer with the NLS training. Finally, we're going to follow our standard field trip policy. This comes at 0 cost to the school. It's going to benefit student engagement and, of course, achievement as a result. It gives us a great chance to bring in some community volunteers, and it really does fit into the school improvement plan, every single strand of it.